Investing and working out might have a lot more in common than you think. Let's talk about it. Open up any social media app today and it's overrun with experts telling you how to do side raises. No this way, no that way, this is better, no this is better. And then people in the comments, so I saw this video and he said to do it this way and this woman says to do it that way and which way is better? And you get overwhelmed, you get inundated, and then you never work out because you can't figure out which workout is best for you. Same is true in the world of investing. One finance content creator might say, this is the best way to invest. Another might say, no, that's the best way. One guy might love NVIDIA, and the other guy might say it's the worst company in the world. You get overwhelmed, you don't know who to listen to, who to trust, and so what do? You just never invest, you just never work out, because it's too overwhelming, and you just don't know what to do. But the reality is, the earlier you start, and the simpler you keep your workout routine or your investing strategy, the simpler it is for you long term. And when it comes to investing, the earlier you start, the cheaper it is because you have more time on your side. You don't need to invest as much. Go to the gym and find the 70-year-old guy who's in pretty good shape and find the 70-year-old guy who can't stand up off the bench. The 70-year-old who's throwing around some weight, moving easily, didn't just start working out yesterday. They've been working out since they were in their 20s. The 70-year-old who's leaning on the bench and pushing and they can't get up and they need help from a trainer to stand up and their knees are shaking. They just started working out a few weeks ago. It's a lot harder. My favorite approach for new investors is to focus on the foundation first. Now you're gonna have two accounts. Let me just show you, it's really easy. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to a brokerage like Charles Schwab. Now, I know what someone in the comments is going, what about Fidelity? What about this one? What about, they're all fine. Just pick one. You're going to go all the way over here where it says open an account, and you're going to open an account. But you're not just going to open one account. You're going to open two. You're going to open a Roth IRA. This is for when you're 59 and a half and older. This is for the future. And you're going to open an individual account. This is for the more immediate future. Look how dirty my screen is. Let's just take care of this. And I know what you're thinking. Well, what investment goes in which account? If I'm starting over in my early 20s as a brand new investor, what I'm doing is starting with a technology ETF in the Roth IRA because I don't want to pay taxes on the thing that is going to have a disproportionately higher return long term. Look at this, 489%. I want to avoid this tax bill. In my individual account, I'm going to put something like an S&P 500 index fund like SPLG. There are others, but this is just one of them, which you can see in the last 10 years is up 193%. And yeah, it pays a little bit of a dividend over here, but I would rather pay taxes on this gain than the 500% gain. And I would also consider a dividend fund in my individual account. That is this one right here. And you might say, but you want to avoid paying taxes on the dividends. No, I don't really care. It's 3%. And over the last 10 years, this thing is up 110%. So like I said, I'd rather avoid the tax bill on the technology ETF than all the other stuff. And your next question is, how much should I put in each one of these investments? Now, for the Roth IRA, the max contribution per year is $7,000. If you can lump sum invest and just throw it in right at the beginning of the year, great. The earlier you start with the largest amount, the better. If you can't, you dollar cost average, you do what you can. If you can't max out that $7,000 per year, I understand. You still want to have your individual account with whatever you can put in it. And percentage-wise, it depends on your age. You might want to be 60% technology if you're younger. You might be younger but more risk-averse. You don't want to take the short-term volatility. Then you go heavier in the S&P 500 index fund. Maybe you do 60% S&P. Maybe you want more passive income. Maybe you're a little older. Maybe you want 50% dividends. There's no one-size-fits-all approach here. One last thing, I think now more than ever, it is extremely likely that we see a Trump recession in the next 1 to 4 years. It is crucial that you learn how to invest during these times. If you can afford to do so, it can be a massive wealth creator for retail investors, people like us. I charge nothing. I'm not here to sell you something. I'm going to show you something. I want you to take note that there's no email sign up and everything there is free. If you are new and you want to learn how to invest, all you have to do is go right here, click on the menu, which is right here, and everything here is 100% free. This is my favorite. It is a playlist content catalog. Let me just show you how it works. So this is every playlist that I have on TikTok and every video under that playlist. This took me forever to put together, by the way. And when they threatened that they were going to ban TikTok, this was what I was most upset about losing. So let's say you're looking for videos on lump sum investing or dollar cost averaging. You literally go onto your little computer, you type it in, lump sum or DCA, and it'll show you which playlist this is under and what number the video is. So this one is under the Investing for Beginners, number 73. And this is my TikTok account. You know it's mine because 377,000 followers. Go through all of my playlists, which are right here. Find the Investing for Beginners one right here. And there it is. But much like working out, what really matters is that you keep it simple and you stay consistent. Smash the follow. See you later.